Hey, what is up, everybody? How you doing? It's your man Phil Williams from the Phil Williams Show. How you guys doing? Man, a happy belated Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Thank you to my ancestors and our founding escaped slaves. They call them forefathers, but they're our founding escaped slaves in my book. Love you guys. Love you dearly. Hope you had some great time spending with the family over the weekend. Things like that. I like to ask for a special prayer for my pastor, Pastor Jimmy A. Copeland, and our First Lady, Karen Copeland. Ask for special prayers. They lost a son over the last week, and we're getting geared up to go to a funeral and for his homegoing. And just ask for special prayers to my pastor and our First Lady and the whole Mustard Seed Faith family. Love you guys dearly. And Pastor, he is the strongest. He's supernatural to me. He's a superhero to me. My pastor is. And just special prayers for my pastor. Thank you guys. God bless you. But this is what I came here to talk about today. Man, the American people, some of the American people, in my opinion, I didn't do some house cleaning. I'm sorry. United for Freedom. United for Freedom. Join our group on Facebook. It's about accountability and our missions. Please, we are not endorsing or we are not against any particular candidate or for a candidate. We are about accountability and our missions, holding our true conservative representatives accountable. United for Freedom on Facebook. And please continue to support Shannon Joy. She's another one of our up-and-coming conservative talk show hosts. She's doing a great job. Please continue to support her. And please share this video. Share these videos with your friends and your family. And even the people that disagree, share it with them. I'm not that kind of guy. I love disagreements. It's okay. That's how we get stronger. But share this video. So now this is where I want to get to today. The American people, in my opinion, some of us have turned into the cheapest date imaginable. We are not some Ruth's Chris steak date or something like that. We're not some big fancy 5-star restaurant date. We are like leftovers at McDonald's type date. And what do I mean by that? How the price that we will pay to give away our freedom makes us, some of us, the cheapest date imaginable. The kind of rationale and thinking that we use is something that we wouldn't even advise our children to do with one of their toys or their clothes or their material possessions. We wouldn't advise our children to think like we think. When it comes to our freedom, I mean our actual freedom, when it comes to how we look at government, we wouldn't even advise our children to think like how we think. Let me give you an example. What do we tell our children to do when it comes to keeping themselves safe? When it comes to processing information to keep themselves safe so they can make it back home? Whether they're going to baseball practice or chess club or outside to play at the playground, what kind of advice do we give them when it comes to the thought process for them to make it home safe? Our children, what do we tell them? We tell them to look both ways when they cross the street. We even tell them to look both ways if it's a one-way street. We tell them don't accept no wooden nickels, or basically don't let somebody just come and talk them into anything. We tell them to know the people that they're talking to. Before we even let them play with their friends, we say we need to meet their parents. Why? Because we need background information. We need as much information as we possibly can get. And we teach our children to do these things so they can make it home safe. We tell our children don't talk to strangers. We tell them watch out for gang members and people that might sell them drugs. We tell them to watch out if they have their money in a certain place. Tell them to watch out for pickpockets and swindlers. We tell them all these things so they can just make it home. But when it comes to our freedom, We don't even take the advice that we give to our freaking children. We are a bunch of adults acting worse than children. And the sadder part about it is because we think we're grown and we're on our own and we're making money, we won't let anybody else give us the same advice that we give to our children. We start crying and blocking and unfriending when we're just giving advice, the same advice that you give to your children. Yes, it might come across that we're calling you childish, because it is when it comes to your freedom. Now introducing the concept of fake news. Now, we have two sides of the media, and then we have the right side of the media. They've become very complicit when it comes to big government and growing government and things like this. Then we have the left side of the media. Since it comes from the left, we don't want to give them any kind of credence or anything like this. And we don't want to use the advice that we give to our children. We'll throw that advice out the window and just go with strangers now. Yes, Donald Trump is a stranger to conservatism. So for a conservative to go with Donald Trump and anything Donald Trump says is tantamount to you telling your children to go to the park and play and talk and trust in strangers. When it comes to conservatism, Donald Trump is a complete stranger. Why don't you take your children's advice? The advice you give to your children. Why don't you take that advice when it comes to Donald Trump? When it comes to anybody in Donald Trump's administration, they're strangers to conservatism. So if you do take the advice of somebody like a stranger like Donald Trump when it comes to conservatism, I'm going to add that up to is you're not as conservative as you thought you were. And you're definitely not as conservative as you're trying to convince me that you are. Same thing with Christianity. Donald Trump is a stranger to Christianity. So why would you want to go play with this stranger and take the advice of stranger when it comes to your faith? Just like conservatism, either you're not as a Christian as you think you are, but you're definitely not convincing me that you're as Christian as you want me to believe you to be. They're strangers to this. Stranger, and what's the next word we tell our children? Stranger what? Everybody say it with me. 1, 2, 3. Stranger. Stranger. Yes, that's right. Stranger danger. That's what we teach our children. Why won't you do this with your freedom? Why? Now, when it comes to the media, let me tell you how all of it is fake news. You ready? Every single piece of it is fake news. Now, be honest with you, I would tend to want to say CNN and MSNBC, I can't believe I'm saying this as a true conservative, would have a little bit more credibility when it comes to going up against the party of power. Right now, it seems that they're against Donald Trump right now. They're against the stranger, and they're pointing out all the danger of the stranger. And so it would seem like there would be some good advice coming from the left. But let me show you how they're just as fake as the people that's got knee pads, every single different color, over on the right. Let me tell you why. Because the left knows, and they're not telling us. They're saying just enough so they can have some credibility as being against the people in power, sounding like they really care about us, but they're just as fake as the Fox sycophants over there too. Why? Because they know. They know that Donald Trump came into this presidency with over 10,000 lawsuits from Americans being shafted by him. They know it, but they won't tell you. They won't preference any of this Russia stuff with how crooked they know Donald Trump is. Why won't they do that? Why don't they? They're coming out right now. It sounds like they're against Trump, right? Trump's labeling fake news, right? I'm telling you they're fake news because they know all the truth and they won't tell you. Why? Why won't they tell you? Why won't they start their CNN breaking news? The crooked going in Donald Trump is even being more crooked with the American people. Why won't they say that? Interesting. Here's why they won't tell you. Because they're waiting. They're lying in wait. They're letting Donald Trump do what he's doing. They're positioning himself as the most trusted name in news and all this kind of foolishness when they are obfuscating and holding back information that you know. They know Donald Trump's tax returns. Are you trying to tell me that Barack Obama would go through everything that it takes to tap this man's microwave and the IRS won't take Donald Trump's tax returns and put them in a vault somewhere? So you can't believe all of it unless you take all of it. You don't think the Democrats have Donald Trump's tax returns? Come on, people. You don't think they know? This man came into the White House being sued by people who said that he's raping children. Yeah, all these kind of things. You know these things. He came into the White House with this. Eminent domain lover. Single payer lover. All these things. Why isn't the liberal media telling you this? While you're buying that they're keeping Donald Trump from accomplishing things. I thought he was so brilliant. I thought he could walk, talk, and chew and blow spit bubbles at the same time. All the media is fake. But let me tell you facts about facts. Something else that you share with your children. You tell your children to add things up. You don't tell them they have to have physical facts. You tell them to add things up. It's called critical thinking. It's taking what you have and coming up with an equation to keep you safe. Why are you people on this social media, especially you Trump humpers, being so disingenuous when it comes to facts? You don't have facts. So how are you going to tell me to have facts? What are the facts that you have? What the media tells you. What your orange Julius Caesar tells you. But then you're going to try to tell me to hit you with facts. No, I'm going to do the same thing that you advise your children to do. I'm going to add these things together and I'm going to come up with a conclusion to keep me safe. And because I have a love for you, I'm going to share with you that conclusion that I come with. I'm going to walk you down the yellow brick road and I'm going to tell you how the Wizard of Oz has no draws. What facts do you need to have? Is Donald Trump a lifelong liberal? Fact. We both know this. Is Donald Trump a big Hillary supporter? Fact. We both know this. Has Donald Trump supported almost every single liberal and progressive Democrat that has been stopping the conservative movement for 30, 40 years? Fact. We all know this. Is it a fact out there? Donald Trump's own words, that if he ran for president, he would run as a Republican because Republicans are stupid. Fact. We all know this. Do we know for sure that when Donald Trump ran as a Republican, he made sure he assassinated right there on the stage every single other Republican? Fact. Do we know the fact that Donald Trump will take somebody's property in order to build a parking garage for his businesses? Fact. Do we know for a fact that Donald Trump endorsed Hillary Clinton? Stood behind her with Benghazi and all these kind of things? Fact. Now, if we add all these facts together, first of all, how does it equal up that he's a conservative? How does it equal up that he's some kind of stark Christian when he's saying 2 Corinthians and things of this foolishness? How is it adding up to all this stuff that we should trust this dude like you're asking us to? How does that add up to trust when we have all these untrustworthy facts? How does it add up to trust them? You guys want to know another fact? Your favorite so-called conservative senator or congressman, male or female, here's some facts, and here's where I'm about to lose a lot of friends. They're not coming to our defense either. Why are these Republicans behind closed doors? Fact. Trying to get health care going? Fact. The same thing they bitched and moaned and got them the seat that they have because the Democrats was doing it. Fact. Why are they doing this to us? And why are you sounding just like a Trump cult, telling me to trust them? It doesn't add up to trust to me. They're not doing things as trustworthy. Once they endorse or stand behind or go along with someone who is factually not trustworthy, that makes their trustworthiness suspect to me. And it should be suspect to you. Take the advice that you would give your children. Take the advice you would give your children if you just want them to make it home safe. You should multiply that advice by 2 to want to keep your freedom. Not only for yourself, but for your children. Your children are counting on you to practice what you preach right now when it comes to this government. We are being hoodwinked and bamboozled and shanoled and everything 5 times from Sunday. Donald Trump is just buying time. Guess what this guy is doing when he's tweeting? He's giving you fake news while he still has the Department of Revenue. While he still can print money and move money around while you're distracted. Didn't he come in a crook? Didn't he come in bankrupting things? How do we know that he's not in the pocket of Russians? Add it together. Don't tell me to hit with facts. I can add. This dude is crooked as an S and a Z with razor blade porcupines on it. And you're going to tell me I got to have facts to come up to that conclusion? You're going to tell me to trust this dude? How are you going to trust this dude with helping the economic situation and getting people employed from American people? When the facts is he hires illegals. He loves the visa program. He brings in people from other countries before he hired your backwards country butt. Yeah, facts. Add it together. But now you're telling me to trust him. With getting jobs for my children? For your children? It's all fake news. Here's the facts about facts. We don't have the facts. They don't want to give us the facts, and that's a fact. But I know how to add and subtract. And right now, he is not adding up to me, so I'm subtracting him. These other weak senators and congressmen, they're not adding up to me. What you're doing is not adding up. I can't trust you. You're doing things behind closed doors. If you want me to trust you, understand this is our house. It's we the people. You got to shed a little light on it, brother. And anybody that's asking any American to trust, blindly trust, or take something that somebody did a long time ago and continue to trust them, what did Jesus do? Jesus didn't say, trust me. He didn't do the water to wine and walk the water to wine all the way to the cross. Jesus Christ himself didn't say, trust me. Jesus Christ himself did miracle after miracle after miracle, earning your trust, earning your faith. Stop riding your senator or your congressman's accomplishment way back a long time ago. Make them earn it every day. Shed a little light on it. Because right now, the very same 13 senators that's behind closed doors, not letting us see what they're doing with Obamacare, the very same ones are putting trust in the most untrustworthy president I've ever seen in my lifetime. And no, it's not some kind of secret strategy. What would you do if your child came home and said, well, Billy has a secret strategy why he's talking with the dope man? Well, Johnny has a secret strategy, Mom. Mom, you just don't understand the strategy that Johnny has while he's talking to the heads of the Crips and Bloods. You got to be patient, Mom. No, you're going to tell your child, hell no, get away from him. It's dangerous. Danger, danger. You know what I'm saying is true. Don't ask me to hit you with facts. Why don't you do what you ask your children to do and add it up? So that you can make it back to freedom safely. Because right now, you're the cheapest date in America. And Donald Trump is you're just another one of the people, he just grabbed you by your cooter. Because he's rich and he's famous and he can do what he wants. Oh, I'm sorry. That's another fact. Come on, people. Stop being a cheap date. There's people that died for us to be the leader, not the follower. We're the head, not the tail. Man. Phil Williams, I love you. Again, Pastor Copeland, First Lady, love you. I love all you guys. Share this video. That's a fact.